And we're live. Welcome back,
Hello.
everybody, to episode 11. I can't believe that it's already on 11 of the Sugoi Boyz podcast. No Art of Anime tonight, sadly, but I'm joined by two awesome individuals. The typical, usual pleb that is J-Chip from the J-Chip Show. But more importantly, Gabriall Scott is here. Gabriel, welcome.
I'm taking Art's place forever.
Yes. But yeah, welcome, guys. Thank you for coming.
He got too popular.
Yeah, you know. Tonight we let me mute myself on the YouTube part of this. I don't want to hear myself twice. Nobody wants to hear my voice once, let alone twice.
They just want to hear Harry Lolly.
Harry Lolly almost has 1,000 views at this point.
Holy crap. No way.
Yeah. Can you imagine? I should just do that. What am I doing? Making other types of videos. That should just I should sell my soul and just do Harry Lolly stuff. But yeah. So there's one thing I did this week. So typically, Gabriel, as I'm pretty sure you know, we just talk about like whatever we've been watching. But actually, you know, first, for those out there, the very few people that don't know who Gabriall Scott is, who are you and what do you do?
I am a 19-year-old nerd from Eastern USA. I'll let your imagination run wild for that one. And I pretty much just make really goofy content being either extremely serious or extremely ridiculous. Like it's like two sides. There's really no middle ground. I'm either like one of my last videos, I was like super serious, but I was actually also really goofy in it because I can't stay serious for too long. But yeah, and it's pretty much mainly about nerd stuff like video games or anime.
Awesome. Walkie Deadpan, thanks for coming. There's one thing that he did this week. He did lollies. All right, good. Harry Lolly is a big fan of those.
Yeah.
But yeah, Gabe, I think there's like I've talked to Bob Samurai about this before and Justin, that there's this magic thing about making content, videos, whatever you're doing, about like what you want to do versus what everybody else says. And I think if you could do that, and I get that out of your stuff too. Justin, on the other end, I don't know. But this is not. I won't make this the poop on Justin podcast. I'm starting to feel bad because he has that cool Batman banner in the back,
and it's upside down too.
And it's upside. No, you don't let them know. They wouldn't have noticed. Maybe they're distracted.
I didn't even notice.
So as far as this week, I was actually just watching a movie before this. I have 20 minutes left of it, of In This Corner of the World. I think that's the title. On Netflix. Yeah. And Light had, I think, done a blog post about it before. And it sounded pretty cool, and it was on Netflix. It's a pretty cool film so far. I mean, there's 20 minutes left, so maybe it'll go to utter shit in the last 20. So I guess I can't. I also watched Flavors of Youth. It's also on Netflix. That is a film from Comics Wave, which is the same studio that does Makoto Shinkai's stuff. So Your Name and 5 Centimeters and all that. It's not directed by him, a different director this time around. But it's a cool little anthology story. That's three separate stories. Pretty cool. It's like a little over an hour. I recommend it. It has beautiful animation because Comics Wave spends a lot of money drawing shit. So yeah, they did that. And what else? Oh, with Justin, we watched. I forgot that I hung out with Justin this week. Oh, we watched Gant Zero, and that was interesting.
Oh, like you hung out in real life?
No, only on the internet. We don't hang out with real people.
Well, the reason I asked that is because, like, me and, like, when I talk about, like, oh, yeah, me and Loknir hung out over the weekend, they're like, you guys hung out in real life? And I'm like, yeah, we live, like, 20 minutes away. Why not? And so whenever someone says hang out, I automatically assume that you guys hang out in real life, too.
I wish. Yeah. Unfortunately, he lives in the faraway western part of the country.
I live in the magical, mystical, wonderful land known as Wisconsin. It's really cheesy, but it's cool.
It's really cheesy.
There. Yeah, they have cheese. They have the Packers.
Yeah, the Packers suck, but yeah.
And I live in Massachusetts, so it's pretty far from Wisconsin.
Yeah, you can walk there though.
I could walk there physically. Yes, an individual could walk from Massachusetts to Wisconsin. Would I recommend it? Probably not.
If he did, like, the next time he did a live stream, he had a beard down to here and weigh like 90 pounds. They'd be like, "Who is this man and what is he doing with Miasma's channel?"
It'd be like Forrest Gump when he goes on his run forever.
That's actually Harry Lolly.
The true form of Harry Lolly.
Yeah.
What's up, Dave?
Hello, Dave.
But yeah, doing Gant Zero, and then In This Corner of the World, and then Flavors of Youth. And this is gonna make Justin happy. I watched one more episode of Chobits today.
Yay!
Episode 17. So we're slowly chipping our way there.
How many episodes do you have left?
Yeah, I watched 17, and I think it's 26, so 8.
Okay. Well, at least you're making progress, but I still believe that Art will finish Hunter x Hunter first.
It was a really lame episode, to be honest.
I don't remember that episode.
Well, it was a lot of just like them cleaning the apartment. They just helped the cleaning. They helped the cleaning lady, the apartment lady, the landlady.
Yeah.
Clean. It was too exciting for Gabe. Couldn't handle it.
Yeah.
The episode was too enthralling. The cleaning action. No, but at the end they reveal some more stuff, but it's mostly just them like cleaning, and she just sits there and says, "Surprise! I know you're not going to believe this." She says "she" in the episode. She does.
Whoa!
But they do have wakey exercises from Sumo.
That's good.
So that's pretty good. Any episode with wakey exercises makes me smile.
Also, I apologize for my coughing fit. I choked on my Dr. Pepper while drinking.
It's all good. Worse things have happened on this stream.
Yeah.
So Justin, what have you? What has the J Chip done with his eyeballs, as we usually put it?
Well, I picked up a package that was next door, but it was delivered to me safe and sound.
Confirmed. Justin steals mail from other people.
Yep, I picked up Eden of the East, the complete collector's edition, which comes with the movies and the series. And it comes with art cards and it comes with stickers.
How much was it?
Like $50.
That's fine because you get everything, right?
It was at a Funimation sale, so I was just like, "Hey, yeah, this is something I actually want, and it's really cheap. I'll pick it up."
Nice. You definitely stole it from your neighbor. I don't believe you.
Yeah, exactly.
He usually gets his anime from a pawn shop, which apparently sells everything for like nothing. Because I paid like $70 for Scryed, and he got it for like a penny, a straw.
Which is gonna be cool because one of these animes I have out here is from the pawn store.
It's funny. I'm a very visual thinker. So when you said, "What is Justin doing with his eyeballs?" and he said, "I was going to pick up a package," and I was like imagining his eyes like lifting up a package.
Yeah,
and I was sitting there trying not to bust out laughing.
He does that too. You know, he has very damaged eyeballs because he keeps trying to like do like pick up physical things with them. It causes some great pain.
It reminds me of that SpongeBob episode. I have muscles on my muscles. I have muscles on my eyeballs.
Yeah, that's just.
Yeah, that's me. As far as what I've been watching, I'm almost done with Magical Circle Guru 2017, and I started Dog and Scissors.
Dog and Scissors.
I never
heard of that.
Yeah, so it's about a dude that really loves books, and he survives a heist. Like, these guys with guns come into a restaurant and start killing people, and he somehow survives it. But he then turns into a dog, and now he lives with this one hot chick that like wears lingerie and shit like that, and then like tortures the dog.
Oh, that's...
with scissors.
The girl does?
Yeah.
Why?
She doesn't like dogs, but because the dog can, so she can understand him, but he can't really speak because he's a dog. So he has to communicate her through his mind. Okay. Because she was at that restaurant that got shut up.
Walking Deadpan says he was with you until he became a furry.
Furries are creepy. I don't like them.
Dog, it says this is apparently weird. Says Sweet Pea. Thank you for coming, everybody, by the way.
Yeah, yes. Dog and Scissors is really weird. But I'm like one episode in, and it's special.
It's special.
That's all I'll say. And the other anime I'm watching is Sangatsu no Lion. I'm still watching that.
Pretty good. I can't wait to talk about that one. You only have
out of all the anime I'm watching, Sangatsu no Lion is my favorite.
I still have that Japanese copy of Volume 1 that I brag about, and I never show on camera, even though it's over there.
You don't have it.
It involves getting up. Yeah, I don't really have it. I can't read
it, though. That's all I've been doing.
So far.
All right, Gabriel, what about you?
Well, let's see. I've been watching some of those seasonal stuff like Banana Fish and My Hero Academia. But I've also been watching a little bit of Legend of Galactic Heroes, Fairy Tail 2014, Neon Genesis Evangelion, and I think that's about it.
Nice. He's like me. You watch many things at once.
I do. Like, I just can't stay. Like, yes. For example, you know how some shows they'll get a little slower at parts. Well, like for me to be able to sit through that, I can't just binge through the whole thing. So I'll watch the good stuff, and then when it gets to that like slower part that builds up to a better thing, I'll like switch to something else that is like really fast paced, so that I can like wear myself out, so that I can watch the slower paced stuff, and then flip flap. I'm thinking about flip flappers, so I can flip back and forth between like each show, and I don't get bored.
Makes total sense. He's one of the only insane individuals on this planet.
So have you ever tried having like 2 TVs in one room and just watching 2 anime at the same time?
How have you? What?
I've read manga while watching anime.
He must really have muscles on his eyes. Like,
if I'm watching like a shitty show and then I have a good manga to read, like I'll like play it in its dub and just listen to it while I'm reading the manga.
There you go. You
can get through Black Clover like that. While Skyping someone. Like that's why like I'll Skype someone and I'll start playing video games, and then they'll tell me like a whole story. I'll be like, sorry, can you repeat that? I was watching a cutscene.
Yeah.
I also watch many things at once. Like technically on my watching list is a lot of stuff that's been on there for like I guess Chobits. Honestly, Justin's waiting for me to say Chobits again because I've technically been watching Chobits for like like the winter, since the winter time probably.
Of last year?
Almost a year, yeah. I started it when I was sick. I remember that. I was sickest, one of the sickest I've ever been in my life, and I wanted something like warm and cuddly to watch, and I had it on my shelf, and I was like, you know what? Chobits. Everything I know about it, it sounds like it's going to work. It'll make me feel better. And then it did, and then I found out that I didn't have all of the DVDs in the set that I have.
Oh, dang.
Yeah, it was only half the show. When I've owned the box for years and then didn't realize it was only half the show. So that deterred me from finishing it, and then I'm just not – it's not a bad show, but I'm just not that into it. But I generally watch a whole bunch of stuff at once. I've technically seen 8 episodes of Legends of Galactic Heroes. That's technically on hold.
I've seen 10.
Fuck.
I've seen the entire series.
He saw the whole thing. Did you see the new one though?
Yes, I did. I have a review of it.
Oh, that's right. Dang. You do. I forgot about that. I should know that because you're my friend.
He's way ahead. We need to catch up to Justin's level.
He lives in Wisconsin. That's why.
Yeah, it's Wisconsin.
There's nothing to do. They don't even. So he doesn't go outside. He just sits and watches Legends of Galactic Heroes and wishes he was in space.
So if I move to Wisconsin, I'll just automatically gain the knowledge of all the anime he's ever seen.
You would just feel compelled to not look at anything else but a monitor.
Yeah, exactly.
Screen or
I
TV.
already feel that though.
It'll be worse in Wisconsin.
I mean, it's really boring out here, so like you don't got a lot of options.
You have Subway.
Yeah, but I don't want to eat fresh.
You want to eat old.
Wait, no, that's their old. That's their old slogan. It's not their slogan anymore.
They don't have
What's
Eat
their
Fresh
slogan
anymore?
No, they changed it.
What is it?
I don't remember, but I just know it's not
But
that
you're
anymore.
wearing- But
Because I
you're
saw
wearing the
like a
Subway
commercial
shirt.
for
You
it
should wear it.
recently.
I haven't seen Eat Fresh on like a lot of merchandise.
Yeah, like I saw a commercial of it recently, and it was like Subway, and they said something completely different. I was like, oh, what is this? Excuse me, I didn't sign up for this. I want to eat fresh.
Subway, come eat our sandwiches. That's it. It's just short, it's to the point. We have
Subway, buy our food.
Do you have D'Angelo's where you live? There's a restaurant called D'Angelo's that's it's like Subway except way better.
No.
I've never heard of it.
Quality sandwich. It might be just like around here. It's a chain, but it might be just like a small chain. If anybody
heard of Sundrop,
it's really good.
have you guys ever heard of Sundrop?
No.
I have not.
It's like imagine you take Mountain Dew but make it like 6 times unhealthier. That's what Sundrop is. It's a very southern thing.
I didn't know that you could make Mountain Dew unhealthier.
I know.
All right, so cool. With the tonight's topic was I like to trigger people on my channel because I don't give a fuck. And I also tend to like shows that nobody else likes, and then sometimes I show them my friends, and then they like them, and then they're like,
Mine's the
wow.
opposite. I tend to hate shows everybody else likes.
And then I'm kind of the same way with that too. So tonight, I tasked everybody with bringing to the table an underrated show, something that's like a hidden gem in their eyes that people might not talk about that much, and then something overrated. And because I, asked this to everybody and put the pressure on, I'll go first, I suppose. I kind of have two, so I'll kind of cheat, but I know Justin probably has more than one. This first one, like I said, I mentioned it to people, and then they've fallen in love with the show. Justin, in particular, made me so happy when he did a review of the show. Was Jormungand.
Yeah,
and this is like underrated for me. So Jormungand, have you seen it, Gabriel?
I have not.
Okay, you're like most people, so that's fine. It has 2 seasons, and it is like often compared to Black Lagoon. Pretty much just because it has a whole lot of gunfights and people shooting shit. But it's not as... there's no Revi, I guess. So like, there's no... however, but there is Coco Hekmetiar, who I'm glad I remembered that like Icelandic name that she has, or whatever.
In my opinion, she's the star of the show.
Oh, yeah. And she's hot. But, yeah, so they have Coco. And she's an arms dealer. So they're not like pirates or anything like a Black Lagoon. She deals in weaponry. And she's done it for her whole life. Like, her father owns this like big arms dealing company, and her older brother does it. And so she's grown up like around firearms and bombs and all this shit. And it's basically about how she has this team of badass bodyguards. There's like 9 of them, I think. And at the beginning, she recruits this new one. It's a kid named Jonah, whose family was wiped out by war, and so he hates fighting and he hates like guns and weaponry. But he's also like really good at firing guns and killing people, just like naturally. And from his upbringing, he's just really good at it. So she recruits him, and he's a kid. So she kind of wants to A, take care of him, and B, recruit another bodyguard. But she just collects these guys, and they all have... The show's really, really interesting because it goes into like a lot of their backstories. Almost every single bodyguard gets his own episode as to like how he either got into like the trade or what he did before meeting Coco, or how he met Coco and so forth. And it's just a really, really cool show. There is lots of action. It's got really, really cool characters. It has 2 seasons, and the ending is fucking nuts. Like it really it makes you like really question how far you would go to achieve your goals and how you perceive how the world should be. Because Coco perceives the world should be a certain way, and she goes to ridiculous lengths to make sure that is how the world is going to end up. And I'll leave it at that. But it's a cool show, and Justin reviewed it as well. But you can check out his video as well. And then I guess we'll go around the table for underrated, and then we'll just go overrated afterward. Justin, do you want to go next?
Yeah, I have several anime that are underrated right next to me. And one of them is one that I think you'll be happy to, Miasma.
Okay.
Because we did a video on it. It's Scryed.
Scryed. I almost did that, but I figured you might.
Scryed is really underrated. It's like My Hero Academia, but a lot cooler.
Yeah. A lot like X-Men.
If you're a fan of like shonen anime, then this is right up your alley, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And the dub is really cheesy, and it's beautiful.
Just like your state.
Yeah,
oh!
Exactly.
Man, my Wisconsin audience just got triggered.
There's no such thing as a Wisconsin audience. I'm sorry.
I have no views in Wisconsin.
Unless you're a Packers fan.
All right. So Gabe, your turn.
So my underrated series, there's two of them. One is wait, should I say both of them or should I just say
I'm gonna have one more after, but you can go ahead. Go ahead and do two.
Okay. One of them is Flip Flappers. Obviously, it was a series that aired a few seasons ago, or maybe even last year, possibly. It's about this girl named Kokona and this girl named Papika, and they get sucked into this like alternate dimension sort of thing called Pure Illusion, and they have to try and find these gems. And there's a bunch of trials and tribulations they go through, a lot of character development. Like at first, the main character hates her, and then, and then there's character development. They get past their differences and such. It's just very heartwarming. And if you're into Yuri baiting, then I'm sure you like this show because it's very Yuri baiting. And oh yeah, it's a magical girl anime too. Which is odd because I'm not one to typically like those. I'm more into shoujo manga, but more into like shonen and seinen anime. So when I found like a shoujo anime that I actually liked, I was like, whoa, they exist.
Yeah. Also, I have a review of it.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
J-Chip's just ahead of the game. I
am.
What was your other one? You can go ahead.
My other one is Kokoro Connect, and almost nobody's ever heard of it.
I've been meaning to watch that for so long.
I feel like you'd be like, you're so far the first person I've ever heard of that has actually heard of the show.
I saw Black Current guy review it. I know he really likes it.
Yeah, so it's about this classroom. It's basically a comedy. It's about this club of kids. There's probably like 4 or 5 of them. I can't remember because the last time I watched it, I was like 14, but I still love it. And they get cursed by this evil alien life form thing that can transform into different like people and like take over the minds of other people to use their body to communicate. And he curses that club of people by like they randomly switch bodies uncontrollably. So at one moment they'll just be sitting there talking to each other, and all of a sudden they're looking at their own self, talking to their self, and they're like, wait, why am I looking at myself? And then they realize it's because they were transported into their body and they were transported into their body, so they're looking at their own bodies from the other person's point of view. And then they get cursed again later by the same thing. I don't really know what to call it. And it curses them to, like, whenever they think a dirty thought, they automatically spout out like out loud what that is.
Wow.
Like if they have like an impulse, like even if it's not a dirty thought, it has to be like an impulse.
Just
like
no inhibition. Like it takes away inhibition.
Something that they just wanted to do at that moment that had like a really strong impulse for. They didn't actually plan on doing it, but they end up doing it anyway. Like it's like their body uncontrollably does whatever they were thinking they wanted to do. For example, this girl was sitting in class, and she was like, "Man, everyone's so tense in here. Like, I wish somebody would just like speak up and like relieve some of the pressure." And then the curse kicks in. She automatically stands up and just yells at the top of her lungs and like breaks the ice, and everyone looks at her like she's crazy. Oh, it's so funny. But yeah, I really like that show because I'm not even that big on comedies, and I liked it. So if I like it,
it sounds like it has serious nature to it too, with the entity that's going on and stuff. And I know it's pretty short, right?
Yeah, it's 2 seasons, and I think they're both 12 episodes, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, and also there's a little romance story that goes on throughout it too, so you can keep up with that along with the curse.
Oh, and they body transfer, so I'm assuming that they go into.
Right.
You might go into your crush's body. That would suck.
Exactly.
Maybe I'll go into my body.
Yeah, I'll go into Justin's body.
Yeah.
So we'll go back to me because I forgot to say my second one. I talked about it on the channel before. I don't have it on DVD because I don't think it exists on DVD, at least here. And it's a show that I've only heard one person on the internet besides me talk about, and it's a show called Rec, REC, and it's a 9-episode. It's 9 episodes long, but they're all half length, so it's like 2 hours. So basically, I don't know why they didn't just do a movie, but Rec is an awesome. It's like I haven't delved into rom-coms that much, but it is one of the best rom-coms that I've seen. Like it's way better than anything like live action or anything, but definitely in terms of anime. It's basically about this dude who he's like just out of college, and he's like a salary man. He works for this like advertising agency, and he's kind of stuck in a rut in life, and he doesn't really like what he's doing, but it pays his bills and so forth. And he's finally living on his own, and he gets in the first episode he gets stood up on this date at like the movie theater. At the theater, he meets this. Sweet Pea loved Kokoro Connect and has apparently also seen Rec, which is nice. So at that's the movie theater where he got stood up. He meets this this girl, and I can't remember their names now. Aka, I think, she has red hair or something. And so he meets this girl, and she does this like playful he goes to throw away like a thing of trash or something, and the girl does like a voiceover of like the trash saying like, "No, please don't throw me away," because she's actually a voice actress. She actually like goes on this, like she hangs out with him after he got stood up like this, and they go to like a restaurant together, and they talk about how she's a voice actress. He works for this the company that he works for, like marketing, advertising or something. And basically like how they've gotten to this point, and how she's trying to like climb the ladder being a popular voice actress without having to resort to doing like just like hentai stuff. She'd prefer to do like regular anime and so forth, and he is just trying to survive. And then her apartment gets burnt down, or it goes like on fire, and that night. And he offers her a place to stay, and literally in episode 1 they hook up.
Oh, great!
Without really even knowing each other's name.
Oh, wow.
I think. They like very briefly they meet, and then they have this awesome night together. The whole first episode is this really cool date and them relating to each other, and it's really, really, aside from them maybe not knowing each other's name, it's really believable. Like I feel like 2 individuals could do this in life, and they do. They hook up the first night, and then it gets even more awkward because she gets hired by his ad agency as a voice actress for like the mascot for this like food. They have this like weird like tree cartoon character guy that's advertising these like chips or something that they're trying to sell. So they just hooked up. They just met, hooked up the first night they knew each other, and now they basically work together. And so it's like this, and then she just lost her place to live, so she's living there at the same time, and it's awesome. It's nine short episodes. You can watch it in like 2 hours. Rec is super. It has an amazing OP. If nothing else, listen to the OP. But yeah, really cool show, and it's something. You can't get it on like DVD here. I tried, and or anything. And it's not dubbed as far as I can tell. Yeah, super low key. Something that's definitely going to get forgotten in the future of anime.
Oh no, that's sad.
Sadly, I won't. I won't forget it. Everyone here, don't forget Rec.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So Justin, you're up.
Good show.
Yeah, it's awesome. I love Rec.
So this is going to be a manga instead of an anime because there's no anime for this, but it's Frank-Friend. There's a reason why my hand's covering her chest.
I know why it's covering her chest because he also told me to read it.
Yeah, I told you to read it. I'm telling everyone to read it. It's freaking awesome. Like,
hey Axel, hey Light.
It's more of an episodic type thing where this girl who was built by a doctor, and she's the perfect specimen. And she has this weird fascination, almost kind of like a fetish of dissecting people. And she is perfect at doing all sorts of things. Like, she can take a human head and put it on a dog and make it work just fine.
Whoa.
Yeah.
She's like Stein from Bleach. Not Bleach. Oh my God, Soul Eater.
Stein.
Yeah, Stein from
Stein
Bleach.
from Bleach.
Yes, Stein from Bleach. He's in the background. He's a minor character.
Yeah.
Ichigo from Soul Eater.
Yeah, Ichigo. Oh man.
There is only 8 volumes of this. There are 70 chapters. You could probably finish it in like a couple of days. If you're warped, you can finish it in an hour.
Oh my God, Warp 8. Yeah, you read it backwards in 3 minutes.
Yeah, and there's a lot of smut in this, so it may not be for you, but I don't know. I found this to be really freaking cool.
You also probably think the girl's very pretty.
Minus the stitches all over her body.
Yes, you're into that.
If she can't dissect something, she'll dissect herself.
Oh, yikes.
Wow.
Yeah.
And does she have a love interest?
Probably dissecting. And if Stein was from Soul Eater, was in the anime, they'd be a perfect match for each other.
You should make that. Write a fanfic about it.
Everyone that has read Frank-Friend made a fanfiction already.
Okay. So now that we've done what we think is underrated, and everybody should watch those, but wait till we're done here. Now we can talk about now we can actually open up the trigger floodgates.
Yay. My favorite part.
Yeah.
Everyone's gonna hate us.
So shit that we think is overrated.
Everyone's gonna hit unsub from all our channels.
Now that I think about it, we could have just done an entire fucking cast on underrated shows, because now I'm looking at my shelf. It's okay. It's more fun to make fun of popular stuff. So my first one that I'll mention, and I've sat through 2 seasons of this, and I refuse to watch season 3 because I'm done at this point. And there's a poster of it to my right, actually. But it's a badass poster, so I still don't take it down. Is Shingeki no Kyojin, or Attack on Titan. Now, this is not okay. When I say it's overrated, I'm not saying it's like garbage. Like, it's not like this isn't like Super Kid. Okay, there's cool stuff in Attack on Titan. My problem with Attack on Titan is that and I'm not talking the manga. So somebody's gonna be like, "Well, in the manga, they explain it." No, no, I'm talking about just the anime. So the anime, I hate shows that just raise a million questions and decide to answer like half of one, and then they're just like, "You want some more answers? Nah, fuck you. We're just gonna make you even more like confused and weirded out, and here's some fucking naked giants, and look at that guy, he got eaten, doesn't that suck? Everything's brown and boring looking. And everything's brown and really dull looking. And Studio Wit did an alright job with it. Like, I like the scenes where people are getting like devoured, but everything else. Also, I hate fucking Eren. The show should be about Mikasa.
The fans hate Eren because I like Attack on Titan and I still hate Eren.
I wish the show was about Mikasa. Like,
right.
The Mikasa show would be way better.
I'll be the weird one and say Armin was best boy.
Well, okay, I don't hate Eren, but I just don't like him as a main character. I feel like he's too much. He's just too much.
Yeah. So Attack on Titan, I think, is... And then the other thing is, it's really annoying when you like go into like FYE or something, and they have a million Attack on Titan. They have Attack on Titan blankets. They have Attack on Titan shirts. They probably have like Attack on Titan fucking, I don't know, condoms. Just have
Fuck like a Titan.
I can see the Japanese ad for that. Fuck like a Titan.
Fuck like a Titan.
Oh my god. Yeah, so Attack on Titan for me. Now, Justin, you have to follow that up. You have to follow Titan condoms.
Okay.
You didn't think you'd be talking about that today.
So I'm not targeting one specific series in this franchise. I'm targeting the entire franchise, and that's the Fate franchise.
Oh.
Fate Stay Night, Fate Zero, Fate Apocrypha. I've never seen a Fate show besides Zero that I actually really liked. I really like the animation, but I really get bored and I end up falling asleep during Unlimited Blade Works.
It's because you don't understand. I don't understand their 45-minute conversation about how this battle royale is going to take place. It's going to take place. They're going to talk about it for 40 minutes, but it's going to take place. I promise you. The dragons are coming, and they're going to fight in the Fate series.
I think Saber is a really cool character. That's about it. I really like Zero a lot, and if it was just Zero, then I'd be happy.
I like Berserker. He's a Berserker.
But the Fate fans base is so kind of elitist in that, like, if you say anything bad, they'll like hunt you down.
Yeah, it's a toxic.
Otaku is gonna come after you, Justin.
Who?
He said who? Did you genuinely not hear me, or do you just? Are you just?
I'm just being like, who?
Oh.
Sloan's another YouTuber. I actually met her in Anime Boston.
She plays all the Fate games live.
Oh. That sounds like torture.
She's like really into the Fate series.
I mean, hey, like, if they really like Fate, go for it. Just keep it away from me.
Here's my thing.
It's like what I always say.
Good.
It's like what I always say. I don't like pickles. I don't like the taste of pickles. I don't like vinegar. But there's a lot of people that really like it, and I like people that like pickles. So you can have it all for me.
Whatever tickles your pickle.
Exactly.
That's what's important. I would say if people like Fate, I mean, usually Fate fans have already done what I'm about to say, but watch Kara no Kyokai, because those are similar animation, because it's done by the same studio. Beautiful, gorgeous imagery and stuff, and it's 7, I think it's more now. It was 7 movies, and it's, Tight Moon, that whole stuff. It's all the cool visual spectrum that they have, and minus the weird, annoying Fate story. I think Kara no Kyokai does a better job. But yeah. Okay. All right, Gabe. You're up.
Okay, I'm gonna what is the word I'm looking for? Trigger. Why didn't I think of that? Trigger a lot of people, but my overrated series is Black Butler.
And all the fangirls are coming after you.
Dude, all my female audience is gone. I've lost Wisconsin tonight, and I've lost all the women. Thank you.
It is a show about a boy named CL who summons a demon named Sebastian and makes a contract with him to pretty much like protect him and help him on journeys and whatnot to help to like serve the queen. But the reason I'm not into it is because like, so I like stories where the characters have like in-depth backstories, or like backstories where they keep you wondering and then it's revealed and you're like, what? That's why like Itachi is one of my favorite characters from Naruto, because it's like throughout the whole series you think he's just this terrible person, and then it gets revealed and you're like, whoa, dude, that's so cool. But anyway, so it's like you don't really get anything from either of the characters. You know something. I don't want to spoil it for anyone in case you guys want to watch it or haven't seen it or whatever. But what I feel like everyone's seen Black Butler though. But can't step on too many toes. I already said I don't like it. Might as well not spoil it too. So something happens to CL's family, which leads him to summoning Sebastian, who is a demon. But you don't know anything about Sebastian. That's like legit the only thing you know about CL is that all he has is Sebastian and his little butlers and maids and all that. And it's like you're kind of just thrown into this story where you're following these characters you know nothing about, and it's like, why should I care? Like, how do you care about a character you know nothing about? Like, it's just, I mean, yeah, they have cool fights and they have like, cool, funny characters like Grell. Like, Grell is a funny character. I really like Grell. But I watched 21 out of 24 episodes of the first season, and then I was like, screw it, I give up. And I haven't regretted it since, so.
The first con that I went to, they had, oh my god, who's the voice actress for CL? Brenda Palencia. They had Brenda Palencia there, and she did a Q&A panel thing, and like 95% of she's done a million shows, and like 95% of the questions were related to Black Butler. And I was like, what the fuck is going on?
Right.
Like, why does everyone like this show so much? Mm-hmm. I guess it's because they're pretty. It's because they're pretty boys doing not pretty things.
See, what you don't understand, Gabriel, is that you don't understand.
You don't understand. Yeah. Just like Justin doesn't understand Violet Evergarden.
Exactly.
Because he gave it a 7 out of 10, and people say he doesn't.
Wait, isn't that considered good, though? Like, a 7 is like, it's not great, but it's not bad either.
Not according to the internet.
That's what I think.
According to the internet, if it's not 10, then you fucking hated it.
I talked to that same person, by the way, and I was blocked by that person.
Good.
Yeah.
Oh, they don't. What? Light and Axel don't like Itachi. You guys are crazy. Also, Karo no Kyokai is a little boring. Okay, it's this. All right, like I said, it's 7 movies. They're not all gems, but the 5th movie, you can't really. The other annoying super like type moon thing that they do is they're not. So originally it was 7 films, and they're not told in chronological order. So like you watch 1, and it takes place like in between like 3 and 4 or something, and so it goes like all over the place. But the 5th, so I would say just watch the 5th movie, but you really can't, because then you're not gonna know. Like, Wikipedia who the fuck the characters are, like read their characters, and then just watch the 5th movie. It's called Paradox Spiral, and it's fucking amazing. Like, that one I consider like a 10 out of 10, and then the other ones are like from like 6 to 8. But but Paradox Spiral, fucking nuts. I have another overrated that I think I've talked about on here, because this is the fun section, so we can just have a million of these. I'm pretty sure I might have talked about this last week, and Justin, I've vented to Justin about this before, but this is more so a microcosm of me not liking the type of show that this is, rather than I think the people that made the show or anything, the fan base of the show. Kino's Journey. I don't know. I really dislike like the episode, like, and it's weird because people will be like, wow, you said Cowboy Bebop was a must-watch anime, not episodic. I know. I like Cowboy Bebop. I prefer the episodes of Cowboy Bebop where like they actually like the end of it, where they actually have like more of the plot. but I still like all of Bebop. Generally, I hate stuff that is like episodic, like life lesson, like I hate Twilight Zone. Like I was not into Death Parade. And then like Kino's Journey is those on like pretentious level steroids, because it's just this fucking annoying fucking girl riding around on her talking motorcycle, and they don't ever explain to you why it talks, by the way, at least in the episodes that I saw. And then because I made it through 5 episodes of the original, and in those 5 I liked like 1 or 2. I'll admit that. It's not the worst show on the planet. It's not Super Kid. I want to reiterate that. But Kino's Journey, Kino is a tool. Thank you, Light. We can agree. Kino, like, I hate the concept of she just rides around and she never stays somewhere for 3 days. But I don't hate that part. I hate that she goes in and every episode is just fucking her going into this fucked up town situation where they're doing something weird, and then she just like, you shouldn't do it this way. You should live your life like this. You're doing it wrong. Let me get on my fucking motorcycle and leave. Peace. And then she fucking like farts in the air, and then everybody's like, oh, well, I guess our life sucks. And then like, yeah. And so she doesn't really help anything. She just goes to there and she just observes shit. And it's just like, I don't know. And then like each one is like, I get what the point of like the episodes are. They're like, oh, this is a weird thing that people do in humanity. But there's like the one episode I always bring up is there's one, I think it's episode 3, where she goes to like this town that they decided everything democratically. So everything was by majority rule. Majority rule was the ultimate law in this town to like the most extreme extent. To the point where like they'd be like, what are we going to eat today? Majority rule. What are we going to plant for crops this year? Majority rule. What are we going to do for this? Majority rule. Everything. But it got to the point where people would disagree with one another, and then instead of like having like war and stuff like that, they just had a vote and they decided to kill certain people. So they were like, or they banished them or something. I don't know. Fucking one of those two. I think they killed him, pretty sure. But by majority rule, they were like, oh, well, we all disagree with you, so you're ousted. And this kept happening until there was fucking one dude left in the town.
Holy crap.
So there's one dude in the town. And so Kino goes there and he's like, and he's bragging about how awesome their society was because everything was by a majority rule. And then Kino's like, well, what if we had a vote and I wanted to kill you? And I'm like, of course, everyone thought that. Like, you're not revealing anything. Like, that's not. I don't know. I just I got so upset when that episode. I was like, I get your point, but you were literally unhinging my jaw and like my throat, and it's just shoving it down, and it's just I don't. And then she rides away on a motorcycle. Nope. Oh. I can't help anything. I'm just going to make a snarky remark about how you guys fucked up. And then I'm going to ride my motorcycle away because I'm so much better than everybody. There's my Kino Journey rant.
But, like, when I was thinking about that, like, if they did everything by majority rules, right, and they kept doing it where everyone was, like, dying because they were killing each other, when you got down to 2 people, how would that work? Because then that one person would say that one would want to die, and then that person would say that one would want to die. So there can't be... It'd be 50-50.
I think he might have just like killed the other one. I think it got down to 2, and then I think that's what he did. And then I think that's why Kino was like, "What if I voted you out or something?" I don't know. It's not fun. Yeah. Oh fuck! I just thought of another one. All right, we'll go around one more time. Justin, go ahead.
Okay. So I have 2 more, but I'm gonna talk about one of them because the one I'm gonna talk about after this one may trigger a lot of people. But the first one I'm going to talk about, and this will trigger a lot of people too, but I'm going to say Akira.
What?
I agree.
Yeah.
What?
I think Akira is...
You guys are mental.
Yeah,
Akira is the most beautiful movie I've seen from the 80s. It's really cool. It's got great animation. It looks really good. I don't really care about the story. I don't really care about what's going on other than the visuals on the screen.
I was more like confused. Like I didn't get what
the fuck was going on. Although I've heard people say I've heard people say that the manga is a lot better, and I wouldn't doubt that. But as for the movie, it's pretty good. You know, the ending was pretty cool. But that's about it.
Yeah, that sounds like Akira. I would agree. It's pretty, but I feel like I recommend watching Akira once, and then I don't mind if people don't ever want to see it again.
Yeah. Also, hey Gabe.
That's like the opposite for me though. Like I recommend watching it a few times because when I first watched it, I didn't understand it, and there were a lot of questions I had. I mean, yeah, it was pretty, but like I didn't get it, so I gave it like a 6. And then I rewatched it like last year, and then I gave it an 8.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because like I guess I wasn't.
Maybe we're just plebs.
Maybe we just don't understand.
That's
I don't think it's easy to get like right off the bat. I think you have to watch it a couple times and like kind of take in the things you missed. You know.
Yeah. Also, apparently, Gabe, you are now Art.
Art couldn't be here tonight, guys. Yeah. So we just transformed his physically into Gabriall. It was
just imagine you took Art's channel and then you mixed it with a BTS member mixed with Urza Scarlet, and you get me.
Yeah, that means Gabe is the most successful out of all of us.
Light, stop recommending Black Clover. You do that every time. Every time. There's always a Black Clover. I'm not watching it. God damn it.
Hey, you have a Patreon. People could vote for it.
I do have that now.
Ooh.
Yeah, they would be giving me money. If someone wants to give me money to watch Black Clover, I'll fucking watch Black Clover. I'm not going to like it.
Me and Art were talking about this, and we were like, you know what? Maybe I should have $100 tier, and every month they can ask me to watch a really bad show.
$100?
$100.
$100, dude. $100. You would need to give him like a hand job. Like,
exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Like, one of them was just like, yeah, if someone gives you $100, you have to like analyze Boku no Pico.
You already did.
Just like how Art did that.
You did.
I gave a bullshit. I gave a bullshit review because I've only seen it once.
I guess if I give somebody $100, I expect them to fly their ass over here and like,
okay. My husband. What would you do with $100 if someone was like, hey, yeah, like Light gives you $100 and says, will you please review Black Clover because that's my favorite anime series of all time? And yeah,
I would review Black Clover because they gave me $100. It depends how long is like Black Clover by then.
You check your Patreon and all of a sudden you have $100 in it. You're like,
yeah.
The first season's going to be 51 episodes, but it's going to come back in October.
I would do that. It would be more annoying if they were like, and this isn't like particularly shitting on a show, but if they were like, oh, hey, review all of Fairy Tail.
Yeah.
I'll be like, well, I got to watch a lot of stuff now. Guess I'm not going to be watching anything else. If they gave me $100 though, yeah, Light would pay. I would pay you $100 to Wounded Man. It's one of the worst animes I've ever seen. Wounded Man. I've never even heard of that. It sounds like it's from like it's gonna be one of those like 1931 like animation tests that's really bad.
Also, like I have a feeling we're gonna have Alex Jones show up and be like, yeah, Art and Gabe are actually the same person.
Yes.
Kind of like how one YouTuber thought that Togashi and the writer for Tokyo Ghoul were the same person.
Well, Tokyo Ghoul is another one. I used to actually really like Tokyo Ghoul.
Yeah.
Gabe, did you have another trigger happy?
I
have another one.
I do have another one, but I'm not sure if I want to say it. I'll say it. Why not? It's Gurren Lagann.
I agree. But I didn't finish it, so I also didn't finish it.
I think I got to like episode 19 and then dropped it. I tried. I always try. Like if there's a show I genuinely don't like, I always give it my best shot. Most of the time.
Yeah. Gurren Lagann is, I think back then they were Gainax still, but the people that made that went on to make Studio Trigger, and every single week it gets brought up by Art or Justin about how I feel about Studio Trigger, and I fucking hate them. So Gurren Lagann, specifically Hiroyuki Maishi, who is the director, who is capable of doing good things because he also worked in Evangelion, which is a great show. But then he went on to make his own studio, and they make shit like Panty and Stocking, and fucking. I mean, they made Inferno Cop, which I know people. It's funny, but it's also Inferno Cop. But yeah, they make shit that looks like that, and I'm sitting here like, hey, everyone should watch Your Name and stuff that looks good and took time to like animate and fucking like, and then the popular shit like Kill la Kill. I don't like Kill la Kill either, but
Kill la Kill gets better. Like okay, when I first started watching it, I was like, yeah, this is pretty good. And then like about halfway through, I was like, oh my god, I don't want to watch this anymore. And then like right around the peak of like the last, I guess you could call it arc, sorta. It's not really an arc because it's not like a long running shonen, but like the last section of the show, it starts to get a lot better. Okay. And then I was like, yeah, it's pretty good. So I think I gave it like a 7.
You know, Miasma, I would love to get your opinion on fucking Space Patrol Luco.
That's also them, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, fun. It sucks. There's my opinion. I've never fucking even seen a
Little Witch Academia.
Little Witch Academia is the best thing they've ever done. It's also the only thing I've watched. I've seen the OVA, the movie, and 6 episodes of the show. And you know why? Because it's not directed by him. That one's directed by one of the other. There's him and it might be Yo Yoshinari. There's another one, but it's not. He didn't direct that one. He just does like the storyboards, so that it's handled by adults. Lila Lou says my husband just hates good anime. What did he say? No, he put Miyasama. Miyasama just hates good anime. Confirmed. Yeah, I just hate everything that's good. But yeah, and then I hate to jump on the Digibro bandwagon here, but I'm about to because I also hate Shinsekai Yori, or From the New World. He just did a fucking like 40-minute video about how it's worse than Sword Art Online. And,
goodbye.
It's a pretty good video. I don't agree with everything that particular YouTuber says and does, but I admire him for many things. And I promote positivity in making videos, but sometimes you have to air out your dirty laundry. In Shinsekai Yori, I was told going in that it would be an awesome show, and what I got was not awesome. And Axel likes it. Come on, man. I don't know. It has a cool premise, but it had like I hated every single character in that show. I kept waiting. It's like 20-something episodes long. I was waiting for. Come on, give me an antagonist to like. Give me a side character to like. Give me something. Give me something besides these uncomfortable teenage kids making out with each other in the woods with telekinetic powers. Just give me something besides that, and then they give me the mole guy and the fucking bitch that runs the town, who I also hate. And then everyone. It was just. Oh my god!
Isn't the mole person basically Hitler or something like that?
He like becomes like a. I mean, I don't want to spoil it for people. He like becomes a powerful. He goes from like nothing to having a lot of power, and then.
I haven't seen it yet, but I've
don't watch
heard you don't like it, and I've heard Art say it's really good. So I got to go with one person here.
Art likes that show.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Just watch the clips. Just watch the clips where like the characters like make out with each other. It's some of the worst animation you'll ever see. Like it's like the worst animated kisses like in the history of time, and it hurt my eyeballs to see.
Yeah.
But yes.
You just work them out some more. Get them strong like J-Chip's eyes.
I have to. Yeah. I have to start taking them eye steroids.
Yeah, those eye steroids. I mean, how else did I become the world champion?
Yeah. Best A1 Picture Show, I think, is Your Lie in April. I think that's them. I would say Your Lie in April is the best.
Yeah, that's them.
That's them? That's their best one, then. Your Lie in April is 10 times better than Shinsekai Yori Light. Come on now. It has all that piano tunes.
Okay, so Light is telling me to go watch it.
Yeah, so that should tell you something. He also says to go watch Black Clover. I don't care if he's been in here twice.
He won. Hey, this guy won the Anime Jeopardy thing.
Oh yeah, he came in here, beat us in Anime Jeopardy.
Holy crap!
And told us to watch Black Clover.
Yeah, Gabe, on the 20th episode, you're gonna be our victim for Anime Jeopardy.
Yes, I love being a victim.
Yeah, every 10 episodes we're gonna do trivia night. Hopefully, it'll eventually be 100 people trying to answer trivia questions.
To be honest, I'm probably going to fail. Like, I'm not even kidding you. Like, I don't know crap about barely any studios.
The last one was Art made the questions, and then he made a question on how tall is the Gurren Lagann robot. But it's a fucking trick question because it's measured in fucking light years. Because he's an ass.
Holy crap.
Oh man.
Art can be an ass when it comes to these trivia questions.
And then I had to hear it all week from everybody in Bob's Discord server about how I didn't know. It wasn't even a question pointed at me. It was a question pointed at somebody else about an Inuyasha ending song. I didn't know the name of it. And it wasn't even at me. I love Inuyasha is my favorite show. If you didn't know, Gabe. So like the ending song, they're like, "What's the translation? What's the name of it in English?" And it was to somebody else. And then like chat was all like, "Oh, my husband should know this." And then fucking Bob's server shattered me all week because they're like, "You don't even like the show. You didn't know that it was Serpent's Crossing or whatever the fuck it is." But all right, I had an extra one. I snuck Shinsekai Yori in there, so you both can have one more before we go. Justin, go ahead. What's something else you want to poop on?
Most Ghibli films.
Oh my god.
Ooh, yikes.
You're like opening
Specifically.
I'll agree.
Specifically.
I'll agree.
Most Miyazaki films.
Most Miyazaki? I mean,
there's a handful of Miyazaki movies I like, but most of them I'm kind of meh to.
What are the ones you do like?
I need to know specifically, so that way I can't get triggered yet until you name one that you don't like that I like, because there's some I don't.
So I like Spirited Away.
Mm-hmm.
I like Princess Mononoke.
Great, that one's awesome. Okay,
and that's about it.
What about Howl's Moving Castle?
Yeah.
It's fucking awesome.
Exactly.
It's
the best little bean.
The best one. Princess Mononoke might be the best one, but the dub is not great.
I really like When Marnie Was There, and that's not by Miyazaki.
I haven't seen that.
And I don't like his son either, Goro Miyazaki. Because Mia-chan decided to put me through hell watching Ronya the Robber's Daughter, and that's a Ghibli show.
Okay.
Ghibli makes shows?
And it's really bad.
Yeah.
It's Ghibli and the CGI studio I can't think of. But they did Ajin and yeah.
But I love Ajin.
And you can have your Ajin.
Yes.
I haven't seen it.
So guys, you heard that first. I can have it. It is now my series.
I've heard Whisper of the Heart's good, Sweet Pea, but I have not seen it. And I've not seen Grave of the Fireflies, but that's Isao Takahata, I believe.
Grave of the Fireflies is also really good.
I haven't seen any Isao Takahata films either.
Barefoot Gen is also really good, but that's not a Ghibli film. But it's just as good.
I don't like Spirited Away that much. I think I really liked it the first time I watched it. I've seen it twice. The first time I watched it, I loved it. The second time, it put me to sleep. And I feel like that's a thing with like his movies. I hated Castle in the Sky. Like
I actually haven't seen it.
It's just, I don't know. It was really boring.
I generally like it, but I don't love it. I'm just like, yeah, it's all right.
Ponyo was cute, but that's just about it.
I honestly just strongly dislike My Neighbor Totoro.
I haven't seen it.
I gave it like a 4, I think. Like, it's just so boring, and it makes 0 sense 90% of the time.
Everyone loves My Neighbor Totoro.
I know, and I'm like, I don't like it. It doesn't make any sense to me.
I mean, hey, wouldn't you like a cat that turns into a train or whatever?
Yes. All right, Gabe. You get the last shot here. The basketball is in your hands, and you have to nail the trigger point.
Let me go look at my list real quick because I kind of forgot.
Something that everybody likes that you think,
Oh, I know. Everyone's gonna hate me for this, but I mean, they probably already hate me because I said I dislike My Neighbor Totoro, Black Butler, and Gurren Lagann. So, oh wait, I have 2 more.
All right,
but I don't know which one I should.
Pick one.
Okay, I'll pick the most popular. Well, I'll pick the most currently popular one, which is Food Wars.
Ooh.
I really don't like it. It's just, it feels so generic to me. Like, there's so many. Like, with the more shonen I watch, I feel like the more obvious it is for me to pick out shonen tropes, and that one is just like a cake of shonen tropes.
Oh, get it, cake, because it's a food
exactly,
show.
That's my point. It took him a second, but he got it.
It's a food show, and he said cake.
Yeah, and like I feel like the only thing that show does for me is make me starving, and I already don't have that much food in my house, so.
I got paid to watch that, so I'll have to watch that pretty soon. The first season, at least.
Make sure you eat. If you do watch Flavors of Youth, make sure you eat first because the first story is all about noodle shops. And it'll make you hungry.
Well, yeah, and it's like the foodgasm thing from Food Wars. I'm like, why is this necessary? Like, what? This is weird. Like, it just weirded me out.
It's like Kakegurui where they're fucking. It's like when they're gambling and like.
Yeah, like.
By the way, that should be if anyone could get that as a GIF right then, just me doing that motion.
Yeah.
Also, you need Deep Throat, a hot dog.
Oh God. Why not a corn dog? Are you racist or something?
Yes,
I am.
Light, come on, man. Flavor of Youth. That movie. No, I like that movie. You're hurting my feelings. Go watch. You know what? Like, you know what you need to watch. You need to watch. What's it called? Oh, Black Clover. Go watch Black Clover, dude.
Axel wants to know the other one that Gabe doesn't. That the other one that Gabe thinks is overrated.
Oh, the other one. I think Trigun's overrated.
Yes.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yes. Yes.
I have a feeling Miasma agrees.
No, I fucking yes. Watch Gungrave. If anybody here likes Trigun, watch Gungrave. It's better.
I already have watched both.
Yes, Trigun is not great, but I'm sure Gabe can tell you why.
It's like, so I feel like there's like one conclusion at the end, right? And then it starts off, but it feels like it's going absolutely nowhere, and I have no idea how it even ended up at the very end, like the conclusion, right? So it's like they're going on this journey, but it's like the journey is very sporadic, and first they're like, oh, we're your partners. Oh, we're not your partners. Oh, we are your partners. Oh, we're not your partners. Blah blah blah, and it's just like they're going from one thing to another, and it doesn't ever connect. It just kind of ends up there. And then they have the conclusion, so it kind of made no sense to me how they got to that point when the story never really built up to it.
Yeah. I also hate Vash. There's a lot of throwaway episodes. That show could have been 12 episodes long.
Right.
It would have been fine. Instead, it's like 26.
I feel like it's drawn out way too much.
Yeah, I don't know. If you haven't seen Gungrave, Gabe, watch Gungrave because it's people always bring it up with Trigun because it also has guns. Ironically, I've talked a lot about shows with guns tonight.
Yeah.
But it's by the same character designer.
Mm-hmm.
And it also has guns. That's why people usually compare it. But Vash learns the value of life. Yeah, Vash learns that he's a plant. Spoiler alert. Also, Knives. We're gonna name our antagonist Knives.
Right.
And then they go. I love like the flashback where they're like, "Oh, we thought Knives was going to be a good boy. His fucking name was Knives." Okay. You can't be like a president or like a respected individual or like you can't be like if your name's fucking Knives like. Oh my god! Alrighty. Oh man! Now that everybody is talking about what shows are shit and Kakegurui, ew, fuck that shit, and are poorly written, and before Light can recommend any more Black Clover, what were you gonna say, Justin?
I wanted to reply to Axel.
Okay.
Yes, I am about to watch Gun X Sword because I actually think it looks cool.
Bob Samurai told me that Gun X Sword wasn't that bad, although I've heard that it's meh from other people. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll watch some. I'll ask Justin his opinion of it. I'll make him the guinea pig. But yeah, before Light recommends Black Clover again, I want to thank Gabriall Scott for coming. And,
thanks for having me.
Yeah, no problem, man. And as always, J Chip from the J Chip Show. I have links to their channels down below. I got a Patreon now, so if you like me and my content and you have extra doll hairs, you can give it to me, or you should probably give it to Justin, or just throw or Gabe or just throw money at everyone. You know, give us all a penny.
Just give us all money. Just give us all money so we don't have to get up and work.
I should have had a penny tier.
Patreon
needs a penny tier.
Going back to me saying that I'm a very visual thinker, when you said doll hairs, I just imagined someone like plucking doll hairs and sending them in the mail. Like, here's your currency. Please watch Black Clover.
I recommend I will get myself cultured, Light. I promise. All right, so we will see. Everybody in the chat. Thank you so much for coming.
Thanks,
we hope we didn't leave you guys too triggered, and I'm glad that we gave you some room to vent on some shows that you don't like, because I think it's probably good for everybody psychologically.
And keep in mind, everyone that's watching this, but just because we think a show is overrated doesn't mean you necessarily have to think it's overrated.
No, they do. Shinsekai Yori sucks. Okay. All right, guys. We'll see you guys next week.
Later.
Bye.